I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I deep find inner strength to face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes, like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn. I've walked through fire and emerged scarred, but wiser, stronger, and unmarred. My existence is a test of will, of trials overcome, of a soul made bold. The way of the world, above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Oh, made bold. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my spirit unborn. Day to day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help when no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace.
Hey, greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio NXT Post-Show Rewind for September the 23rd, 2025. I'm Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, here with little long-haired Chihuahua Molly Holly, and y'all, we've got a full studio tonight. Gentlemen, let's go around the horn here. Introduce yourselves for the folks there that may not remember who everyone here actually is.
Go ahead, CJ.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were starting with me. I saw Tyler pointed over at Malik, and I was like, are we? I don't know. CJ Carter. I've been here for, pretty much since day one, but inconsistent in the last year or so. But my roots are deep here on the Dirt Sheet Radio NXT Rewinds. Love it here.
Matthew Malik Wilson, 3NT Podcast. You guys have seen me before. I just been out, doing my sports thing, trying to live the dream. I miss the guys. gonna be popping in here and there. It's great to be back, man. To talk about this NXT episode on the Go Home show for No Mercy on Saturday. Let's get it.
It is coming up quick, and yeah, like you said, Malik, it was the go home show. They jammed a lot into the 2 hours. They were going down to the wire at that 9 minutes 59 second, 59 minutes 59 seconds. They cut it close tonight. They cut it close, but we'll get to the rather WCW Nitro like ending to tonight's program when we get to that section here. But guys, before we can get into all of the fun and action from tonight's program, I do have to give the shout out to the us on the web. That is dirtsheetradio.com for all of your pop culture, professional wrestling, entertainment needs. Check it out. Make it your homepage. Check it out multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we're legally obligated, but because we love to do it. But guys, there's a lot going on. Ahead of tonight's program, we had 3 matches that were announced. Title for title being the main event tonight. Trick Williams, TNA champion, going against Oba Femi, the NXT champion. A lights out match between Lexis King and Myles Borne, and the last round of the speed tournament with Lainey, Reid, and Candice LeRae. And yeah, the program opened with a recap of last week's homecoming show and kind of, a rundown of tonight's program as wrestlers filtered in. And you could even see there TNA talent sneaking their way in. Not really sneaking their way in. I guess they were welcomed with open arms. There was no locks on the doors or anything tonight. Just open borders at the Performance Center this evening. Everyone just coming right in there. But the show opened immediately with the lights out match, which was actually kind of in the dark. Guys, what'd you think of Myles Borne and Lexis King, lights out, actually enshrouded in darkness and smoke? Yeah, opening match.
Well, I thought it did a good job living up to its name of a lights out match. I noticed something was weird during King's entrance because I'm like, the camera's usually pointed straight down the center of the ramp, and I'm like, why is it so off kilter? And then I finally see Myles Borne ready on the switch, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is so fucking corny, and I love it. The match itself I thought was really good. Myles Borne proving why he is the breakout star from the NQCC right now. As far as I'll talk about Tavion Heights later, but this match I think did a really good job of helping Myles get to that like NXT championship contender level. Unfortunately, I don't really think it does anything for Lexis King. Like, I think he's kind of worked himself into this role of like the Dolph Ziggler of NXT, where it's now up to him to make everybody else look good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad
But yeah,
you said
like
that.
the match itself was amazing. Sorry, yeah, I'm done now.
Good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I'm glad you said that because I was fully prepared to come on this show and be like, Malik is the Lexis King jinx because every time I'm on the show, he loses. So that's what I thought about with the conclusion of the match. Now to talk about the match itself, it was weird at first, like because the stream that hey look, I'm not paying for them. I'm just not. They're going crazy.
Stephanie
right
McMahon herself told everyone
VPN.
to
Thank you.
VPN.
Yep. Thank you, Steph.
And then she got put in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying. Like,
thank you, Steph.
I just have the luxury of being born and raised and living in Canada.
Oh, you Canadians, you always
about to
say
cut
that.
an Ethan Page style promo.
Right?
Hey, I stand and salute every time Ethan Page walks out with the title.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was fully prepared to come on the show. Like when I first turned the match on, I was fully prepared to come on the show and tell you I hate this match because it was too dark. Like I felt like it was something that was best for like a live crowd, like a live audience. So when you're watching it on TV, especially with the quality that I had it on, if you're watching it on TV, it was kind of like hard to kind of like follow But as you're watching the match just gets better and it gets better and it gets better. It was an amazing match in between Borne and King, in my opinion. I totally agree with you. I think this elevates him into title contention. And like I said, and like you said about Lexis King, it just does kind of seem like he's in this gatekeeper type role on NXT, which is a far cry from what we figured he was going to be when he first arrived, but that's where we are now. But other than that, I thought it was an amazing match.
Yeah. I agree completely. It went a little longer than Lexis King match usually does, too. 11 minutes, 48 seconds. And yeah, you guys are right. Lexis King really kind of has been defined down into that kind of mid-card gatekeeper role. Which is a shame. I had higher hopes for him. Not to say that he can't ever break out of that, but the longer you spend in that region, the more difficult it is to escape it. And he just can't. There's just some hump that he can't seem to quite clear. I mean, what do you guys think that is for him? I mean, he's been on the product pretty much since we've been doing the rewinds. Is like, but he just hasn't been able. He'll get to a certain level. He'll start to gain some momentum, and then there it goes. Is it because he loses every feud? Like, what's the deal? What can't he do to get into that next level?
I think it's just a lack of interest in whatever he's doing. Like the character itself, he still plays very well, but I mean, you think about his earlier feuds, like he hits the scene, he feels like a big deal, and then they slot him in against guys like Von Wagner. Like, why was that his debut feud? Why was one of his like first 10 matches on was it an NXT pay-per-view or NXT special edition Tuesday against Robert Stone?
Right.
Like, that is insane to me. And then try and build any sort of momentum off that. And granted, he did eventually get the Heritage Cup, but the most memorable thing he did with that for me was lose it to Penn and Teller. Not like in the championship handover
in like
sense, but
in like the physical magic sense. Like he literally lost
he
it.
made it disappear. And so that's why I feel like he's been pigeonholed into this role. Like he's good, so they're using him, I'd say appropriately, to test other talent against, but it doesn't do anything to really add to his career.
Right.
I agree. He's like a hard thing to kind of like figure out like what's going on with him, because when he had the cup, I thought he was hilarious. And I figured that would, in my opinion anyway, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I thought he was hilarious when he had the cup. I thought he did okay. Wasn't great. But it just seems like there's never been a moment for him to like jettison himself and put him in the upper echelon of talent in NXT. I don't know, man. Do you guys think maybe this could be like a question? Do you guys think this could be like a possible long play from NXT and they're possibly like building him up to be somebody later on in the future? Is it possible that even though he's trying to step out of his father's shadow, that it might be best for him to just be full crash out Brian Pillman Jr.? Like maybe that's what's best for him, because everything that he's done since he got here just hasn't worked, hasn't gotten over.
I mean, I could see them going into an angle where he embraces his, actual, heritage and birthright and all of that. But I don't necessarily know if I'd say it was a long-term plan. I just feel like it kind of would be that last resort, because it's about all they got left to try at this point. And, he's made the case on air why he's calling himself Lexis King and trying to distance himself from the father he never knew and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's about the only recourse they have at this point. But again, I wouldn't say it was a long-term plan for him to do that. But it could work. They got to do something with him, because I fear that he's going to end up on Evolve sooner rather than later if something doesn't change for him here.
I think they could at least try an honest to God babyface run. And like he kind of teased that tweener line a little bit, but was a very soft tread. Like, he needs to go full deep end babyface.
He
Give
was
that a shot.
he was starting to get people to believe in him when he was chasing the Heritage Cup, and he was, had William Regal in his ear trying to give him brass knuckles and all that jazz, and he refused to do it. And then, like, it was all a charade, and, the audience felt, angered at him. But it worked. He was an extra rough. Again, for a short period of time, like you were saying, like, when he had that Heritage Cup, like, he had a hot little moment there, and then just kind of fizzled out.
Well, because he's like, I'm gonna piss all over the heritage, literally, of the Heritage Cup. Like, you, you can't tease the fans like that and then immediately switch back on it. That's not a like. I don't. That's why I'd say he hasn't had a real babyface run. So if he does, I think you can tweak some aspects of his character, be more of like an edgy badass
Right.
without being a selfish asshole.
Right. We'll see where they go. They gotta do something with him. But anything else on the opening match, guys? All right. Popping backstage, we had Mr. Stone, former opponent of Lexis King, and Stevie Turner, who they probably would book also to beat Lexis King if given the opportunity. They were on the phone with Ava, who is over in the UK right now, and they're trying to tell her that there are TNA wrestlers all over the place, and they were asking if she okayed this. She basically just ignored them and told them that they have it all in hand tonight. So yeah, but also wanted to mention, as we were going to the break, Ethan Page is walking to the ring. He shared a stare down moment with Myles Borne back there. So Myles doesn't bode well for Tavion's chances if they're already kind of hinting at an Ethan Page and Myles Borne match. But
hey, the Ava thing didn't seem shady to y'all at all. Like,
they
got this.
there.
They got this invasion angle going, and you can't hear, like, you're calling into work. Like, you called into work with a bad symbol, and they're telling you, hey, they're outside. Like, she's like, huh? What did you say? It just kind of seems like back in the day invasion where like Stone Cold Steve Austin is leading the invasion or something. Like, do you think it's possible that Ava could be joining the TNA side thing here, and that's the reason why I was like that? It's just a conspiracy theory on my part. I just wanted to ask y'all. You guys are the experts here.
Well, I mean, I could see them doing that in part because I could see influence on the company wanting to give Ava a larger, more prominent role on television, even though she probably shouldn't have a larger role than she currently does have. She's doing better than she was. They clearly got her an acting coach of some kind. Like, she has definitely improved and then kind of plateaued on that improvement, but I could see that because I feel like, I don't know, every time someone's referred to her as like the final boss of NXT, I kind of cringe a little bit because I'm like, they're going to do something with that eventually. The Rock said it on air. Like, but what time would it have been in the UK or when she was talking to them? It was like 8:30 on the East Coast. Was that like 2:00 in the morning there or something? So maybe she was tired. Jet lag's a son of a bitch, It was suspicious though that she wasn't there today.
Little weird. Yeah.
Little sus.
I don't know. Like, I think you guys are reading too much into it. I think it's just. I thought the reason she wasn't there was because she got canceled for her comments about Charlie Kirk.
I thought about that too, actually.
I
CJ.
did consider that as well.
I was trying to be nice, CJ. So
no, I'll say it.
Be nice, but okay.
No, I'll be the one to say it. It's fine.
The Canadian will take all the heat on that one. That's
exactly. No, what are they gonna do? Cancel me? I don't even live there. Shut up. Anyways, so I don't know. It doesn't make sense for Ava to be anti NXT at any point. Like, this is the brand where she's, given her entire career so far. Like, she's the lady in charge. She doesn't really stand to gain anything from siding with TNA against NXT. If she believed in NXT so much in this war, then she'd be, it would be, I'd say in her best interest either way to align with NXT.
I have a rebuttal.
All right,
I came prepared. I have a rebuttal.
go for it.
War games are showcased in between who?
Well, that's the thing because last week they hinted that it's HBK's team versus Triple H's team for for either HBK to remain in charge of NXT or Triple H to take over.
Okay, Ava's name isn't in there. I'm the one
Well-
that's been here. I'm the one that's been here week in and week out. I get Sean gets his TV time every once in a while, but I'm the GM at NXT. What the hell you mean? It's just Hunter and Sean running this. Hunter hasn't even been here. Hunter's been on the damn main event. If anything, it should be me against Sean for who runs NXT. What do you mean? Triple H is going to come back here and do that? No. If I'm Ava, hey TNA, what y'all got going on? They could have their little squabble. What do you say to that?
I think it was more like the HBK versus Triple H thing through the NXT hierarchical structure where you have the superstars and then you have Ava on top of that and then currently you have HBK on top of that. So it's basically just them competing to see who Ava's new boss is going to be.
But you speaking of boss, did they call HBK the NXT final boss, or did they call Ava that? And we already know how The Rock operates behind the scenes.
And because it's a reference to the fact that that's The Rock's daughter. It doesn't have anything to do with who's actually running the show. Like, Ava does have power as the general manager. All credit to her. But at the end of the day, Shawn Michaels is still the overseeing enforcer of NXT.
Tyler, did I convince you?
I mean, it's basically how Stephanie got involved in the whole invasion angle and why she was siding with Heyman and ECW, because she was angry that basically, like, Vince overlooked her and, was just concerned with what Shane was going to. I mean, I don't know, because I didn't read the HBK Triple H thing last week as serious. I thought that was all tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was just, a way to get William Regal to say war games on the episode. or whore games, as it would be. I'm like, good God, you sound like Danny DeVito. Hooer games. But I don't know. I feel like we're going towards a war games with an NXT and TNA. But why though? We'll get to the ending angle tonight. But like, why would there be so much anger between the entirety of the NXT locker room and the entirety of the TNA locker room? You know what I mean? Like, I get why they'd all be mad at Trick. Like, that's understandable. He's running around with their belt. He's been a dick for months now. Like, that I understand. But it's just like, what Hank and Tank do to you guys? Like,
I still can't stand Hank and Tank. I haven't gone there yet. Danny's there. Danny likes Hank and Tank. I'm sorry, guys. I tried. Like, it's not. I tried. I tried. I just can't. But hey, I just wanted to play fantasy booking real quick. That's all.
Well, okay. Do you hate them a little less than you did then?
Yeah, I got respect for them now.
All right, there we go. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
But I want to direct this back into the program. We had All Ego Ethan Page with CJ's favorite championship belt ever, making his way to the ring to be a bit braggadocious. Is there any way we can get the CW to quit muting out the audio when the crowds do things? Because they were chanting "asshole" here pretty heavily. I think to the tune of "ego" of the asshole, but like crowds mute it out. It's like the first 30 seconds of his promo was just silence on our end. CJ, do they do that in Canada?
Sometimes.
Okay.
They have before. I didn't notice anything censored this week, or in this specific segment. But then again, I also don't recall hearing "asshole" chants during his entrance. I'll have to listen for it next week.
Yeah, it was there. They yeah. But he ran down his competition here, and Dr. Wagner Jr. was there. But guys, he was called out by Ethan Page, and he said, "Hey, let's do this right now." And he jumped in, suit and all, made him tap, and the mask came off, and somehow the hair. Kudos to Tavion. I got to give him that. Like that, I would not have thought it was him. I really didn't think it was him under that mask. I don't know how he jammed his hair under that. As a man with longer hair, I can tell you that like bald caps, I have a luchador mask. It's hard to get all that up in there. It's uncomfortable too. So God knows how long he was in that get-up. But he ends up getting jumped by Tavion here because as Tavion is getting a title shot this weekend. But what do you guys think of the segment here? The surprise of Dr. Wagner Jr. being Tavion in disguise. And again, with the glances between Ethan and Myles. What's this mean for Tavion's chances Saturday?
Well, I think it definitely takes advantage of the fact that a lot of North American wrestling fans still don't know the AAA talent well enough to know the difference between Dr. Wagner Jr. and Tavion Heights. I sure as shit didn't, and I mean, I've watched the last two worlds collide. I'm trying to remember if I watched Triple Mania. No, I didn't. But
Should.
yeah,
It's amazing.
I thought
Should.
it did really well to position Tavion Heights as a credible threat to dethrone Ethan Page. I don't think there's anything to the Myles Borne of it all. I think it's just one. I think if anything, it might be a red herring to try and throw us off the scent. Or it could be, teasing one way, but then doing a 180, Myles Borne versus Tavion Heights.
Oh, yeah.
So you have Tavion winning your favorite championship.
I do. I think that unfortunately the Canadian strap has seen its last night at the PC, and we're gonna see Tavion win it back for the good old US of A.
DJ throw.
I love the segment. I'm an Ethan Page fan. Like he has me. I can't wait to see what he does on the main roster. To be honest with you, my opinion, he has the promo skills. He has the wrestling. He has the look. He has the attitude. He has everything that will work in the main roster, in my opinion. So if he's losing it because it's time to call him up, which I kind of do believe it is,
yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I love this segment. I like with CJ. I didn't know that wasn't Wagner Jr. I thought Wagner Jr. just went in there and kicked his ass real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of thought that.
Kind of a weird choice when you have a number one contender, but okay, I guess.
Yeah, it was a nice touch because, like I said, I'm with CJ. Like I didn't expect Tavion to be under that mask, and shout out to Tyler for pointing out how the hell he got his hair in there because I didn't realize that either.
Like, it is so like it's okay, looking a little closer, I can kind of see a little, but still, like,
yeah,
he's got a lot of hair. And a beard. Like it's.
Well, maybe shout out to the camera crew because the angle does help.
Right. Yeah. They let him darkly. I mean, he was kind of a little in shadow there, I guess, next to Santa Claus. It looks like, but.
But on another quick point, for a person that hasn't seen too much of NXT lately because he's so busy, it was a great way to showcase Tavion to me to have me excited about this Saturday. So NXT definitely did their job there. So I thought it was a great segment.
And Tavion's been getting good reactions. He's been getting pretty good reactions. I think, he's been getting good reactions against Ethan. Chelsea Green was getting cheered over everybody anytime she was involved with that angle with them and Tyra May Steele and everything, which wasn't it's Chelsea. People are going to cheer her in NXT. There's nothing she could do to get booed at NXT. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so yeah.
Same thing with Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah. Sometimes they just have to lean into it, and it's slightly a different universe, I guess. Just barely. It's adjacent.
just before we move on from this, the Tavion Heights versus Ethan Page really is like shitty Def Rebel theme versus shitty Def Rebel theme. Neither of their songs I want to
you
hear
don't like the
playing at
All
the end of
Ego
this
song?
match.
You know,
No, I've hated it since it
What?
came
Killing
It,
with,
out.
it's catchy to
killing
me.
with
I
a
like it.
smile.
Yeah,
Ego.
I like the Ethan Page song. I don't know. Maybe that says something about me, but I
The
like that
the
song.
beat is good, but it's the whole over auto tune and just mumble whatever the fuck that.
But it's his.
Ego.
It
Killing with a
fits his.
smile. It's killing
It,
with a smile, CJ.
Yeah, but what
it
comes
fits his
before that?
character.
I'm not sure what comes before that, but it's badass and I
That's
like it.
that's the thing.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
I respect other people's opinions, regardless of how much they
All right.
go against my own. But
So CJ, when that music,
anyone
when
with
that,
ears should be able to discern that those are not good songs.
so CJ, when Ethan Page comes out, you don't yourself go ego. You don't do it at all.
I do it mockingly.
okay.
If
It works.
anything,
So it works, right, Tyler?
Yep. Still doing it. Still doing it.
no,
Still talking
but
about it.
I'm not doing it like in support or even out loud. I'm just like, like
I get you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, my goodness. All right. Staying, so we're going to hop into the backstage region. Earlier today, time traveling to earlier today, we had Jordan Grace in the women's locker room wearing an HBK shirt. And she has some unkind words with the other Grace at NXT, Ariana Grace. And Ariana Grace's mouth gets her into a situation once again, and it sets up a match between the two Graces later tonight. So, we'll get there. That ended up being, that match, I'll just say, slight spoiler alert, ended up being about as long as our next match, which was a speed match. So keep that in mind. Candice LeRae taking on Lainey Reid with special ring announcer Cole Custer, who I have on good authority is a NASCAR driver. Look, just because I'm from West Virginia does not mean I actually know anything about NASCAR. Just putting that one out there. I if I saw that guy walking down the street, I think I'd assume he sold insurance or something. But
works
he
like
drives,
as a bank teller.
yeah, but he drives 150 miles per hour turning left for 500 miles. But he and they even pointed out he's a NASCAR driver, not a ring announcer. He didn't mispronounce any names or anything though, so I'll give him credit on that. He didn't say like Lainey Reid or something like. Good for him, but it was very. You could tell he was not used to maybe speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
He didn't
Good
know what
thing
to
he
do with his
didn't
hands.
have
He
Carmen
did look
Petrovich's
nervous.
match.
Yeah. What, CJ?
Carmen Petrovich. I would have loved to see him try and
Oh,
pronounce her name.
God. He would just, drop the cards and ran out of the ring. But, I've said this about the entirety of the Speed tournament. I've enjoyed all the matches. They've been good matches. And the prospect of different matchups because of everyone being, eligible for this is great. But, like, the 3-minute time limit, I hate it. I understand it was built for Twitter, and that was the whole idea. It's fast. It's it's you scroll and it's gone. It's Twitter. But we're on TV with this now, and I think they mentioned that the Speed Championship match on Saturday is going to have a 5-minute time limit. So I thought they said that at some point out during the course of this match. But if I heard that correctly, then I commend them for that. But the match itself was good. It went. I lost my time here. It was 2 minutes and some change. 2 minutes 25 seconds, and Lainey Reid getting the victory here tonight. She will be moving on to get that championship opportunity against Sol Ruca. Guys, what you think of the match here? The whole concept of them using the Speed Championship on NXT. Do you think Lainey's going to take the belt from Sol on Saturday? How are you feeling about this? We lost CJ.
That's how he feels about the Speed Championship.
My God, he's out. He is wildly against the Speed Championship.
But while he's getting it together, I thought it was a okay match. I'm gonna be real with you. When I saw the NASCAR driver, it kind of turned me off to the match. Um,
I get it.
it's
I get it. I get it.
it's just I'm starting to. I don't mean to get on my soapbox real quick here. It's just WWE with all the advertisements. It just gets too much sometimes. Like it just seems like every time there's a segment, they're advertising something, and I don't think this is what. Forgive me for saying his name. I get the terrible things, but this isn't the vision that Vince McMahon had for WWE, in my opinion. And I felt like with just him being in the ring, it was just like, yo, this again, like he can't even read like the car, like he's staring at the cars, like
Right.
you're in front of the hard cam, bro. You're supposed to kind of do this and look at the cam, but
Like,
it kind of seemed like he was
It
ill
was 2
prepared.
names. He had to remember 2 names and the Speed Championship tournament. Like that's not much. Like I get
Right.
it. Like we all talk on air. Like I did theater and stuff. Like I understand. So remembering lines, that's just kind of like falling off a log for some people. And I get that that's not his forte. But like it's seriously 2 names that sound relatively normal. We're talking about NXT wrestlers here. Like it's the most average names that you would ever see. Like Lainey, Reid, and Candice LeRae. It sounds like 2 people that would work at a school. Well, Lainey Reid sounds a little porn star-y. Let's be honest about that. That one's that.
There's a lot of reads in
Yeah, there's a strong history of. It's like the Rhodes family in wrestling.
There's a lot of reads in there. You're right. I didn't think about it till you said it.
Pornography has more than one royal family.
Yeah.
That's good Lord.
I wouldn't know. I've been untainted by the internet so far. Take my word for it.
All right.
But yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was just when I saw him, it was just like really like if you're trying to build this Speed Championship thing, like at least put an announcer in there who could make it feel like important. Like it just didn't. The match felt irrelevant after I saw that. That was just my opinion.
Is NASCAR like? Is it on the CW as well? Like, is it part of like CW tie-in thing too?
I imagine so.
Because they used them twice, and we'll get to the other segment that had the NASCAR drivers later, but which was just as awkward and uncomfortable. Lordy. But CJ, man, you kind of dropped off the world there for a second as we were talking about this match. What do you think of this of the speed match here tonight and Lainey's prospects?
Well, the match itself was good. I think they're gonna want to split the 2 title from each other, so I think Sol Ruca is gonna wind up dropping the speed title to Lainey Reid. And the way that they've been building her up alongside Fatal Influence, like hitting a lot of the same, like being adjacent to a lot of the big moments in JC Jane's career with the group. I think there's a really good chance because of that she wins.
And then there might be a little bit of a hat tip with that too. We'll get to later tonight with a segment closer to the end of the show. But yeah, am I the only one that really hates the 3-minute thing? Like I can't be alone in that. Like I get if a match is under 3 minutes by natural circumstance, but like it makes it feel artificially short.
Yeah. At first I didn't agree with you with the 3-minute thing. Like I think we've talked about this before, and I was like, nah, it's cool, but it's cool on Twitter. Like if you're gonna put it on TV, give me an actual match. You know what I mean? Like I think that works for like the Twitter format, but to put it on TV and the way they did it tonight, it left. I'm with you 100% on the Speed Championship now, just because they did that. If you show me you don't care about it, why should I? So that's where I'm at on it.
I don't think they really cared about it to begin with. Like I remember when they had these main roster stars winning this title, and it's like, what do you mean we can't wear it on TV? Well, it's a Twitter championship. Why do I give a shit about a Twitter championship?
Well, that's why I think we were all so surprised when Sol Ruca started showing up on NXT television wearing it, especially after it looked like they were ending the concept, and she was still walking around with it. I almost felt like she was just like, screw it. They're going to put it on TV if I wear it enough times. Vic Joseph is going to mention it, even if it's on accident. Booker T can't help himself to say shit he sees. Like, but yeah, so maybe it was she kind of forced their hand. It's kind of back like way back when Cody won the IC title. And he's like, I'll pay for the old white IC title to bring it back. I'll do it. And he did it and forced their hand on it. But they should like, screw it. But I don't know. I'd like to see them. Would you be opposed if they like did something that was more Heritage Cup like with it? Like that would still be speed like if you did like 3-minute rounds. I mean, because they're really not doing anything with the Heritage Cup anyway, so they might as well just make that the men's speed championship at this point. I'm pretty sure Stack still has it, but like he's barely been on television. He was on TV for about 9 seconds tonight, but I mean, just something that's still speed like, but like more flushed out as I don't know. I want it to go well for Lainey Reid if she wins this because I have faith in Lainey Reid. CJ and I watched Lainey back in the NXT Level Up days. Like she's good. I like her. Her character is a little bit like early Fallon Henley, but you know.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, CJ. My bad. I heard you.
No, I just kind of agreeing with Tyler. You go ahead.
Yeah, I just think the Speed Championship is like a lesson for WWE that sometimes you just need to go with what you know, bro. If you want like a speed type championship, just bring back a light heavyweight championship or bring back a cruiserweight championship. So at least we can have like great matches there where you can showcase younger talent or upcoming talent. You could give them those titles. You don't have to have something so clickbaity that you don't really have the energy or the time to promote. Like then the concept of you giving it to her and trying to boost her career off of it, it goes out the window. It's a failure. So I think WWE made a mistake with making that. Yes, the concept was nice, but I feel like they should have just went with something that you know. You don't need to create a whole new 205 division or any. You don't need to do any of that. But you can present a new title and it elevate talent that you want to showcase in the main event one day. Like a cruiserweight title or a light heavyweight title will be perfect for that. And there's already titles for men and women. It shouldn't be an issue for you to do it there too. So I just think they tried too much with the Speed Championship and it's starting to bite them in the ass.
I think there's just too many championships in general.
Yeah.
Like that they don't put enough focus on. Like I appreciate the fact that they added a women's North American championship, but they've got 2 top titles, 2 secondary titles. They've got the men's tag team titles, and now we've got 2 speed championships.
And
Honestly,
the Heritage Cup. And
the Heritage Cup, kind of. Plus TNA Championship. I am wondering when too much is too much. Like, especially for one 2-hour product. It was kind of different when they had NXT UK and Evolve. Let's not forget Evolve.
Well, hell, for that matter, you know, ID has titles. You know, like it's a lot. There's a lot of belts out there these days, guys.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like specifically showing up on NXT television, like the Evolve champions have been.
That's true. They have, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I wonder why they feel a need to dilute the water so much.
I don't know. It just, I think there's this thought process that they fall into. Some of like, oh, championships are exciting. Like people like to see, you know, belts on TV, but like it comes to a point where it's too much, and you're right, it dilutes the idea and the concept of it. But
And I'm kind of unfamiliar. Just to bring the topic back to speed, like I'm unfamiliar with the title match itself. So if it ends with a time limit draw, does the champion still keep the title, or do they have like a tournament to crown a new champion?
I'm going to be honest. These are the only speed matches I've ever actually seen, so I'm not sure.
You and me are in the same boat.
Me too.
Fuck.
I didn't go,
So,
guys. Here's the thing: with all the wrestling there is to watch on a weekly basis, I never felt the need to go to Twitter for it.
I mean, why go to Twitter in the first place?
That's where I get most of my pictures from memes and updates. I will say that it's a good farm place for that, but
Fair.
other than that, but guys, a couple more segments to hit here before our next match. I don't think I have a picture for this, unfortunately, but Jada Parker had a pre-recorded promo where really, really well done, where she was just running down and belittling Lash Legend. She said she's going to give her the reality check she needs, and this is not over by a long shot. Do you think Lola, because I'm going to touch on Lola here and then back onto this promo, do you think that Lola's going to win the championship from JC this weekend? And if so, do you think Jada will be her first opponent? Or do you think they're just setting this up so Lola has a feud to go into after she doesn't beat JC this weekend?
It's hard to tell because there's the whole spoiler alert later on in the night of it all. So I don't know if that's going to play a role in keeping 2/3 of Fatal Influence in NXT. Like I kind of thought they were gonna wind up getting called up to Raw or SmackDown when JC loses the NXT title. So if they have a credible challenger in Lola Vice, maybe it'll happen after Saturday.
I mean, do you think there's any chance that Lola could just kind of skip the line and make it up to the main roster before? Like, do you think she? I mean, 'cause she's touched on there before. She's been on the AAA shows. Like, I mean, she's
Mm-hmm.
she's getting some traction with the general main roster viewing audience. And I know that this is one of those things that she never did at NXT, but there's no written rule that you have to win the women's championship before you pop up to the main roster. I mean, hell, that wasn't that part of the reason that Becky Lynch wanted to come back down there and win it because she never had won the NXT Women's Championship. Like, so I mean, so I could see Lola just maybe losing this weekend and maybe doing something with Jaden going out after that. I don't know. I could just see her potentially hopping to the main roster, but I just keep thinking they're going to break up Fatal Influence, and we'll touch on this segment later tonight. But now I'm not so sure that Fatal Influence is actually going to split apart. But I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot going on, guys. But I think there's a possibility Lola could jump line here and just not necessarily jump line. I hate to say it that way. Like, you get a spot on the main roster when there's a spot for you on the main roster. It's not really necessarily always about skipping line or being more deserving than anyone else. It's just kind of when you catch fire and fit in a slot. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with your point that she could be skipping a line. When I was watching like the AAA stuff, like Worlds Collide and Triple, I didn't know she was that hot. Like not hot body wise, but I didn't know she was. I didn't know she was like she had like this following the way the pop that she gets was surprising to me because she hasn't been there that long, and she's starting to feel like she's a 2-continent type of superstar now.
Yeah.
Because she has the Mexico bag. And she could do whatever she wants in AAA or in Latin America, wherever they put her. She's gonna be a star there, and then she's starting her stardom's growing in United States too. So if you have that, I don't see why you wouldn't just bring her up to the main roster. That's what you need NXT for anyway, is to showcase the talent, to bring them to the masses. And it seems like she's already accomplished that goal. So I don't see why you wouldn't fast track her. So to answer your question, I see Lola Vice losing. I would give the title to Jada Parker, my opinion. That's just me.
But at this point, where do you set up Jada Parker as the the challenger when she's clearly gunning for Lola Vice.
It's scrap stuff all the time, CJ. That could be like a long term thing because I don't think Jada Parker is too far off from being called up either. The only thing about Lola Vice that kind of concerns me is that we'll probably talk about it. We'll talk about it. You're going to get into the promo in between Lola Vice and JC Jane, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's a couple segments away.
yeah. We'll get into that, but they'll find a way. They always find a way. They'll find a way.
Right.
All right. So staying backstage, we had a quick promo. Lyra Valkyria was catching up with her friend Tatum Paxley, and Lyra was, talking about how every time she befriends someone, they end up, turning on her and stabbing her in the back and being insane and all of that. And this eventually led into Izzy Dame showing up, handing the Barbie of her back to Tatum, telling her she dropped that, which I thought was her way of saying, like, you're mine now. Like, don't forget that. And again, they're seeming to involve Lyra here with this angle, almost like she's kind of starting to maybe try to play for the soul of Tatum Paxton to get her away from this group. But what'd you guys think of this segment here? Was it really, really short, but I thought they made good use of the time. But how you guys feeling about this with Tatum's continual fall into the dark side with the information bush, or the calling, as they are called?
I thought it was interesting that Lyra was still kicking around NXT. I thought she was just in town to cover for Tiffany Stratton at Homecoming, but if this is an extended thing, then yeah, maybe it does become a custody of Lyra ladder match between, or custody of Tatum ladder match between Lyra and Izzy.
Does anybody else see Lyra Valkyria heel turn coming, or is it just me? Because when I watched the segment, it just seemed like it had nothing to do with her and Tatum Paxley. Like that.
I think it was more between her and Bayley.
Yeah, like it just. But I understand that, but it's just I get she's in the Bayley storyline right now with Bayley like flipping out and all of that. But I've been feeling like a Lyra Valkyria like heel turn coming for like the past 2 months, and I feel like you just use that moment where it's like, okay, like because she pointed out, she was like, bro, she left you. Like, why are you talking to her? Like, she left you here. So why are you talking? Like, I just feel like they're starting to build like this momentum to start painting Lyra in like a different light. And that's what I got from the segment. I didn't think it had anything to do with Tatum Paxley. I thought that was all Lyra. And since she doesn't get a lot of time on Monday Night Raw, it was a perfect time to use that on NXT to just kind of gauge where they can go with it. That's what I got from it.
I could see them going that route because I think that as much as I love Lyra Valkyria, she's not set the world on fire on the main roster. I think there's just been a couple little hiccups here, like little silly things really along the way that just like hurt her standing with that audience. And I can see them really just feeling like a heel turn. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do. See if that can get her back on a positive track. Let her run that way for a while, and then eventually get her back to face. But I can see them going that way because they need to do something a little different with her because just unfortunately she hasn't really clicked. I mean, they didn't do her any favors early on, when she was hanging out with Caden and
Katana.
Thank you. They didn't do her any favors there, and it just never really caught on. And then she's dancing around with her platform shoes, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It's like you weren't doing that stuff at NXT. Like, why can't you just be the bird lady that you were
Well, and
NXT? Like,
I mean, like they have made that connection on Raw now, so I'm glad to see that she is at least taking off. But as far as Tatum goes, like it, do you think she's in it long term with the culling, or do you think that Lyra's gonna break her free?
Hmm. I don't know. I've enjoyed her like work in the calling. I've liked her and Izzy tagging together. I thought's been good, but I don't know. I don't think she's not really getting booed. Like I don't feel that like people really view her as a heel necessarily. You know.
Oh, that's fair.
But like, I mean, it's just because she's just nice and kind of unassuming. But like, she's never really gotten a true heel reaction. It's just like she just kind of hangs around crappy people, and I almost feel like the audience almost forgives her for this. It's like you just want
Yeah,
friends.
they feel bad for her.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
like they tried to run her heel a little bit there, but like I feel like it didn't really ever solidify 100% back when she was like running around with I forgot her name from TNA, the spooky one from TNA.
Oh God, I'm blanking.
It's I'm visualizing her. Her name's just not coming, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Rosemary.
Thank you, Rosemary. Like they kind of ran her a little more heelish around that time, but no, like I just feel like people, it's like people feel bad for her. It's just like she had friends finally, and then they both got future endeavored,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was just left all by herself, just with her Barbie dolls sitting in the back corner of the performance center. Which I've heard people complain about that too. Like, oh, I don't like that she plays with the dolls. It's fine. She plays her character very, very well.
Yes,
Like her character would work on the main roster. I think it's got
they changed Nikki Cross, and what's her face? Alexa Bliss kind of does the same thing.
Yeah. That's the thing with Alexa. Not to talk about the main roster too much, but they need to transition Alexa away from all the spooky stuff anyway. That's not her at this point. Like I get why she wants to continue to carry like the doll around and have those references and things, but it's not really benefiting her current character or what they're doing with her and Charlotte. It's just I understand why she's doing it. I just don't think it's best for the character, but it's her character and she's going to do what she wants. So,
Sure.
but yeah. All right, I think ahead of the break, Jordynne Grace made her way to the ring, and then we came back, and instead of going into that match, we instead went backstage again, because that's what NXT likes to do, even though I get irritated by it. But, I can't complain too much because it gave us a Chase U segment. But I will complain because it was a Chase U segment that, again, involved NASCAR drivers. And when the one guy, I think it was, Sam Mayer, no relation to John Mayer, the guitarist. I don't know, maybe there is. I have no idea. I should have just said it was John Mayer's brother. No one was going to friggin' argue with me about that. But
what is with this unraveling here, Tyler? Like, are you okay, man?
I'm very
It's
tired.
just NASCAR. It can't hurt you.
I grew up in West Virginia, and you really had to make a choice between NASCAR and wrestling, and I chose wrestling, not NASCAR, so I don't need to see it. But, like, when he said he didn't remember Joe Hendry's name, I kind of believe it.
It didn't have the card in front of him.
No, he didn't. He did not. But DarkState showed up, which was weird, just as, like, one of the NASCAR dudes was asking if it was real, which I wanted Andre Chase to just, like, ball tap him for that one. But, you can't ball tap the NASCAR driver. Would have made me happy. But I digress. But in comes DarkState. Quarreling happens. Joe Hendry's name is said, and he's there with a helmet. And this sets up for a 6-man tag later tonight. Unfortunately, not with the NASCAR drivers.
You would want to see them get into a ring?
No, I would not. I said fortunately with that.
Oh, I heard unfortunately. I apologize.
No. Fortunately, as well, this is the last we saw of any NASCAR drivers tonight. But before we get into the next match, what do you guys think of the segment here?
I was glad that they didn't make Cutler James say something weird and possibly innuendo-ish.
Just vaguely homoerotic. You can say it. That's what it is. It's everything. But they haven't for a few weeks. Like he's, just said kind of normal stuff. Like, so maybe they're moving away from that. Because if they want DarkState to be taken seriously and, as a legitimate threat, they can't have Cutler James saying goofy stuff every week.
100%. But otherwise, yeah, I thought the segment was just a vehicle to someone to say Joe Hendry's name, which I'm never going to complain about. I think it's a hilarious bit, and I love it every time. But I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of... I don't know how to articulate the problem that I had with it, other than meh.
Fair enough.
Like it existed.
It happened. It was a segment on the show.
Didn't really feel like it added much to the show other than
Setting up for a match.
Yeah, like it didn't need to be a segment. These guys have had their problems before. We knew it was going to be heading here anyways. They could have just said, let's make it official. But no, they had to turn it into a NASCAR bit.
Yeah.
WWE, next time you put like if you want to do advertisement, can they at least beat the hell out of the guys that you put there for advertisement, especially if they're talking shit? Like that, it just turned me off. I'm like, why are you talking shit? It was like, what? He beat the hell out of you. Like the segment was just weird to me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off again, but it was just weird. I was like, bro, dweeb, shut up. Like it was like, bro, put him through a table or something. Like, bro, what are you talking about? And then to not have them in the match or be ringside or anything for them to happen, it was just like, oh, it was an advertisement thing again. That's
like at least
Machine Gun Kelly had the the good mind and heart to go through a table. Like, these are the same crowd that will say that wrestlers aren't athletes, will say NASCAR drivers are, and it's just like, again, I would think these two dudes were accountants from Youngstown. Like, I don't know why I'm picking on Youngstown. Sorry, Youngstown.
He's not sorry.
Yeah,
I know I am. The mob runs Youngstown. I ain't screwing with Youngstown, Ohio. That's shout out to Youngstown. But yeah, it's just product placement. It's just ramped up so much since the TKO takeover. Like from involvement like this to Slim Jim logos on tables. Which my buddy Dave suggested that, maybe they thought to do that because you snap through a table. Like, but it's like, no, I'm like, they did not, don't give them that kind of credit. Like, they did not think that, right? Like, oh, Lord.
I wouldn't mind the advertisements so much if they weren't also gouging money from customers.
Yeah. I will say this. Now, I don't know if the way the pricing works for NXT is a different scale than the way the pricing works for main roster shows. But I will say my tickets for the NXT show coming in to Columbus in October, it really wasn't that expensive. Like, I paid around $90 for floor seats about halfway back 10 years ago, and these were like $130-ish for front row. So I feel like that's not bad, like with 10 years of inflation on it. Like, but again, it's NXT, and I'm pretty sure it's a house show. So, like, I mean, that's all factors here. But, like, man, those main roster prices look ridiculous. I saw the WrestleMania price sheet. The tickets, the seats that I had at WrestleMania 30 now, I would have to get, like, a small, like, loan out from the bank to even like think about doing. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's the product placements. Like, they're making more money than they've ever made, but they're still like raking the fans across the goals here.
Yeah.
Like I get like just so dirty for like the TKO going to be like, oh, Vince McMahon's issue was that he was pricing for family. No, Vince had a lot of issues. That wasn't the issue. That was probably one of the only good things left about the man. Like, oh
like
my
he
God.
had the sense. Like, people were gonna want to spend money on their kids wanting WWE stuff. So yeah, price it well enough that they wouldn't have to choose between a WWE toy and food for that week.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, the Venn diagram of UFC and WWE fans, I'm pretty sure is pretty much just two circles that don't touch at this point. Like it is the smallest amount of overlap imaginable at this point. They're not the same audience. They're not really the same age demographic. WWE's audience is going to have a much younger skew than the UFC. It's very different audiences. It's very different demographics economically that are going to go to these events and whatnot. And it's just, woo, yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know. I think they're pretty much pricing both of them the same. UFC.
That's what I'm saying. But UFC's been doing that for a while, right?
Yeah, UFC is kind of they do the same thing. It's all profit. Like
$25,000 front row seats at Mania. Like it's insane.
It's insane. And that's why, like, when I saw when the guy ringing, I just got pissed. It was like, because I heard about the WrestleMania. It's a great point. Like, I heard about the WrestleMania tickets. I was like, I'm never going to WrestleMania. I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, no way. Like, I got to be rich or something for me to, because you don't want to go to WrestleMania and be in the nosebleeds in the stadium. Like, that's a terrible experience. So,
well, and imagine going to WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. Like, now you got to add the flight of ticket to fucking Riyadh on top of it.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
So to wrap that up, WWE, if you're gonna put these guys in advertisements, at least let them go through a damn table. At least, dude. Like, make them part of the show. Like, don't do that. Like, it was just weird.
Yeah. But from there, hey, to a wrestling match, not a long one. But Ariana Grace taking on Jordynne Grace. And I think predictably here, Jordynne Grace gets the win. 2 minutes, 23 seconds. This also gave us our only Stacks sighting of the night. No Heritage Cup, mind you. But he's, holding his new love in Ariana Grace. And then
where did he even come from?
New Jersey. I don't know. Like, was he under the ring, like just hanging out in the Swoggleverse until Ariana got beat? But
well, that's what I was wondering. Like, he could have helped her if he was at least ringside.
He just appeared. Maybe someone said his name very quietly. He's learning the Joe Hendry-esque skills. But the match was the match. It was Jordynne Grace beating the crap out of Ariana Grace. It's really, there's not much more to explain than that, guys. It was a beatdown. But Ariana Grace is good at it. Ariana Grace is good at playing afraid and taking a beating. She's solid at it.
She's Santino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god. And she's funny too. Holy crap.
Well, yeah.
I never really even
she
thought
comes
about how
by it
funny
honestly.
she is like that. Yeah. Wow. Good for her though. All right. You know what? She might be able to have something out of this going forward then. Like, just keep letting her be her. Which probably means that she and Stacks are going to be comedy heels. Maybe they're going to do with them what they were hoping to do with Carmen Petrovic and Ashante the Adonis. Like, where maybe
for that.
They wanted them to be like that aggravating, annoying heel couple, but like it just didn't work with Carmen and Ashante, And now Ashante's a gone they, so.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Now,
quick question about Jordynne Grace though. Is she main roster ready yet? What do you guys think?
I thought she was for a minute.
Main roster ready.
Yeah. I kind of feel like they're going to maybe finish out this feud with Blake, and that'll be it for her, and she'll be another one that never grabbed the championship on her way up. But I don't know. My only thing is, like, there are several women at NXT that I think are ready to be slotted onto the main roster. It's just, what do you do with them on the main roster, and do they get lost in the shuffle and just drown in a pool of talent? Like, I would say there's a slight opening up there because of Naomi being pregnant. Like, that opens a little bit. So, like, you have, I'd say, maybe a slot to fill But then it's like, well, who gets that slot immediately? We're talking about the potentiality of Lola Vice. Talking about maybe Jordan Grace. Like, I think at best on the main roster, you've got one solid opening where you actually have the time that you can dedicate and develop this person. And then it's just, who do you do it with? So, I don't know. But I agree with you.
Stephanie Vaquer hasn't been on TV in like months. Like, so was she hurt or something?
No, I mean, I feel like we'll see what they do with her going forward with the championship now, because I'm hoping that they actually give her that rocket, because she's so good. She is. She's very good. And I think it's more than just the devil's kiss. Obviously, the crowd gets really into thank you, Booker T, for giving us that one. But she talked about that, too, how she thought that helped get the move over. I'm like, I don't think you need a Booker T to get that move over. I got a little more attention. All it made us think was that Booker T's a friggin' horn dog, and that Charmel's probably making him sleep on the couch periodically.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with Trick Williams' entrance music. Like, Trick got himself over. Booker T just hyped buzzwords during his entrance music.
But it did give the audience something that they enjoy doing at a live show, which is in a way also helpful. It can be hurtful sometimes too, because I think that sort of thing is one of the aspects that's kind of held Trick back as a heel. Because, like, no, he's never really gotten full-on booed by the NXT audience. TNA crowds booed him a little bit more, but again, that's more of, like, invading, champion type of thing. But, like, he's never really gotten fully booed. People still want to sing, not really sing along, but chant along with his music. It's kind of the same thing with Seth Rollins. It's like, change your damn music. Don't let him sing anymore. You're a heel. Take it away from them.
No. We need the Seth Rollins music. They better never do that. It's cool what you're doing that with Becky. Leave Seth's music alone.
Fair enough. But I feel that my point here on Trick stands too. That's like, Booker T did help with that. It gave the fans love doing stuff live, but they're still going to do it even when they should be booing them. But yes, to circle back around, I believe Jordan Grace is ready to be on the main roster. So after the match, we did have an angle here. Blake Monroe's music hits. She runs down to the ring with a trash can, which contained a hot pink kendo stick, because that's how she's going to roll. They brawl. They fight. They get pulled apart. Stevie Turner, Mr. Stone. I believe Stevie announces first that it's going to be a weapons match, which that's not a match type. I just want to point out. I got really kind of angry when she said that. She could have said anything else. No DQ, hardcore, just something. But it's a weapons match. Oh, that's what we call it in the UK. No, it's not really. And then Mr. Stone bringing some logic back to the situation. It's like, okay, it's going to be in a steel cage, which I think later they called like a weapons-infused steel cage or something. Like it's a tea with honey.
Think of like the Extreme Hell in a Cell match that Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho had, where the weapons were like the Ambrose Asylum. Sorry,
Raven's House of Fun.
Something like that. Yeah. Something along those lines is what I'm picturing.
With the TNA involvement, they could have just called it a Raven's House of Fun match. I mean, that was a TNA thing. Of course, I mean, this would neither include Raven nor a house, so maybe they shouldn't do that. But still, I like the rivalry between Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner. They don't touch on it that often anymore on NXT proper. I feel like most of their stuff is just on social media, but every once in a while they do something like this on TV, and it works and it's fun, and it shows that if Ava has to miss a show or two for whatever legitimate reason she was not there tonight, they can do it and they'll do fine, and not too much chaos will happen. Although there was a bit of chaos, but yeah. So Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace. Weapons-infused cage. I'm going to call it a Raven's House of Fun match. That's what I'm calling it going forward. But yeah, that's going to happen this weekend. So real quick, though, what do you guys think on that? Who do you see getting the win there? Unhinged Blake Monroe or frighteningly strong Jordan Grace?
I think Jordan's gonna benefit more from the win on her way out than the than Blake would be able to get more momentum back in NXT following a loss. Like it's kind of like you mentioned earlier. There's a sea that's easy to get lost in on the women's main roster, and if Jordan comes up at a loss already, then she's got no momentum to capitalize on.
I don't know. I never really. When I look at when people get caught up, I feel like they should lose in NXT to kind of pass the baton. Maybe like it's like kind of like a passing of the torch type thing. That's why I don't really care if Jordan Grace loses and she goes up to the main roster. I don't think it hurts her at all. But I do believe if you're going to keep Blake Monroe there, that she would benefit from the win. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Jordan Grace needs to win this match. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Blake. I think it serves her better to just go ahead and win this match and carry over that momentum with her staying in the next.
Has Jordan Grace won any of their matches?
No.
Okay.
Hey, well,
and that's another reason
might,
for Jordan to get the win.
Oh, I don't know because the Io Sky and the Rhea Ripley thing, with Rhea Ripley never been able to beat her. Those stories work later on down the line, especially if you're expecting Blake Monroe to come up at some point. You already have that storyline built there, so that works for them in the future. So I don't know about that.
We'll see. All right. Lost a minute. There we are. All right. So back in the backstage, Lainey Reid was being interviewed by Kelly Kincaid regarding Lainey's victory and impending Speed Championship opportunity. And she was happened upon by Fatal Influence during this. And she and JC shared seeming some common respect there between one another. And this was when the JC declared that she didn't need Fallon and Jasmine with her when she went out to the ring to discuss her upcoming match with Lola Vice. Before we get to that promo, what do you guys think of this backstage segment here and the quick kind of interplay between Lainey Reid and, well, I guess Fatal Influence, but really more JC than the group as a whole?
Well, it was kind of emblematic of what I was saying earlier about how um, they're aligning with, or like Lainey Reid being at these pivotal moments for JC Jane. It's almost like they were prepping her to take her spot in Fatal Influence.
I can see that. I kind of actually agree with
them. All right. Yeah, they've been playing the will they, won't they with Fatal Influence for so long. Like those cracks have been there for so long, like to the point where it's almost like it's become like a Fraxium type deal, where it's like I don't know now that they're ever actually. They just like to make it seem like they don't like each other sometimes. But all right, so back in the PC, JC made her way to the ring, and yeah, she, belittled the fans as she does, talked about how everyone, didn't have the faith in her, called her the most beatable champion, the third wheel, all of these things. And she ran down Lola Vice. And this inevitably would, of course, summon Lola Vice to make her way to the ring. And, this was a pretty solid back and forth promo here. Malik, you touched on this earlier, but the fans are behind Lola Vice. Like, she really does have a lot of groundswell. And I feel like I'd be remiss to not mention the vignettes that they aired on her 2 or 3 weeks in a row, where it was just about her life, and where she was from, her neighborhood, the church she went to, and just kind of like showed her her ideologies and morals and everything. And I already liked Lola Vice, but I felt like that gave a really nice, kind of view into who she actually is. And I think that endeared her a lot more, seriously to the crowd in general. And it's little things like that that really can help in the long run. And I think that that's made people a lot more hungry for her potentially winning that championship. But, WWE booking style, she did lay JC out here and, hold aloft the championship, which, I'm 40, so, over 3 decades of booking that I've seen has taught me that she's not going to win. But hey, maybe they're trying to subvert expectations like that now. So who knows? Who knows? But what do you guys think of this promo here? And again, Lola's chances of capturing that belt Saturday evening.
I'd say it was a good promo from both of these women. Um, I don't remember much of what either woman said, but I know like the delivery felt genuine. Like the emotion was there. So I'm excited to see how this all comes to a head. Um, as far as Lola Vice's odds, I'd say it's a solid 50-50. Like it depends on what they end up doing with Fatal Influence as a group, I think. Like I said, I feel like her and Fallon are both main roster ready. JC or sorry, Jasmine Nix not so much, but I feel like there's still opportunity for her in NXT. But if they do decide to play out this Fatal Influence breakup a little bit, then we'll see what happens. Whether that needs the title to be on JC or not.
Mm-hmm.
I like the promo. I love JC Jane part of it. I love the bar. I've been busting my ass while you've been shaking yours. Um, I thought that was fire. I didn't expect JC Jane to be that. I don't know. It just seemed like it was a great back and forth in between them. And I caught myself like while you were talking about it. At first, I was going to come on and talk about this segment and be like, "Well, I need to see a little bit more from Lola Vice on a mic." But as I'm like reminiscing about the promo, it was like a great back and forth in between. I think this promo built both of them up because at the same time it established JC Jane as an asshole, but at the same time she made like some good like points of why she should view Lola Vice in the way that she views her.
Right.
But I didn't realize until now that Lola Vice promo was totally about, like you said, about I didn't see the vignettes from the past couple of weeks, so I didn't know they did that.
They were
Now
really
that
solid.
now that I know that they did that, her promo makes sense. Like they've turned her from just from a fighting sex symbol, and they've humanized her and gave her a chance for the audience to have like an emotional connection to her now. So now I understand her promo. So now, yeah, it was an amazing promo to both of them. I loved it. I definitely see Lola Vice on the main roster now for sure. And I think with this promo, she should really thank JC Jane for that, because JC Jane, like you could see her like applauding certain shit in the ring and being like, "Hey, yo, you're right, you got me there." So you know what I'm saying. So it was a great back and forth in between both of them that I think built both of them up.
It felt very natural. Just the back and forth. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel scripted, which is always wonderful when a back and forth promo in wrestling in general comes across as this natural, but especially in NXT. Because sometimes it really does feel like I'm going to say my line. I'm waiting for you to say your line. I'm going to react to your line and say my line. This didn't feel that way. This felt a lot more natural. And yeah, like you're right. This made both of them look a lot better coming out of this. But yeah, again, going into Sunday or Saturday, I'm with what CJ said. It's a 50-50 for me too. Like, I don't really know. I can make an argument and see various storyline reasons for going either direction. We'll see. But all right. So from there, before the 6-man tag, we had a spotlight segment on Josh Briggs that was sponsored by an insurance company that does not pay us to say their name, so I won't. So Josh Briggs had a good vignette here. touching on the fans' hatred of him, the "Go away Briggs" chants. I thought this was good. I cannot make up my mind on whether or not the heat that Josh Briggs is getting is actual heel heat, or if people just don't like him. And I don't know what to think at this point, but I thought the segment was good. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, that was largely kind of what he was saying. Like, all his matches have this Briggs go away sort of start, and then by the end, they're chanting, "This is awesome." So I think as a wrestler, he's great, but as he said in his promo, like he doesn't have that connection with the audience.
Right.
And I definitely looked down at my belly when he made his comment about
Yeah.
fat podcasters, and I was just like, well, we're not that big.
I'm in reasonably good shape. I'm all right. Like, I've been in worse shape. Good lord. Like, man. Like, I can
Oh,
button
for
this
sure.
shirt if I want to. Goodness. Yeah, I felt called out. It was a Rick Rude moment. Pennsylvania pissants kind of thing. But the promo was good though. It's Josh
Yeah,
Briggs.
but I think this was one of his best promos in NXT to date for sure. But I don't know if the pre-recorded nature of it was why.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, so I'm a bystander on this conversation. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts. Two questions. What can he do to, what do you think he can do to build that emotional connection with the audience? Or is it kind of like we've seen enough at this point and that's why people are like, yo, just go away? Like, what is it with him? What's missing with Briggs?
I don't know.
I think he does need to be away for a while. I think that he's got the individual pieces that you need to function as a successful professional wrestler. He's good in the ring. He's improved in his time in NXT. He's not the best promo ever, but he's not bad, especially in a produced segment like this. And he's done fine, in front of a live crowd as well. But he can't get all the pieces to kind of click there. He's got the look, he's a big dude, I mean, and I always mention this, but he was the last Evolve champion, like of that, iteration of Evolve anyway. And so he's got all the pieces there, but like, yeah, the crowd just does not want to get behind him solidly as a face when he was doing that, or again, he gets booed. He is getting the reaction. I'm not sure if it's because he's being a proficient heel or if it really is the Briggs go away. But I think he would benefit from like going to Japan for like 6 months or a year.
It worked well for oh god, I'm blanking.
Omos?
Went to Noah, tag team title. Just won the Mexican Battle Royal.
Yep, yeah. It was Omos, yeah.
Omos, yeah. I kept wanting to say Femi, and I'm just like, it's not like it's not so far off. Like I'm on the right track, but not quite.
I feel like Noah would shit a brick if Obafemi just popped over there for a couple months.
I don't blame them at all.
Which actually isn't Charlie Dempsey doing a spot over Noah?
I remember hearing something about that. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
CJ, any suggestions for Josh Briggs to trying to establish that emotional connection, especially since you pointed out that after most of his matches, the crowd is like, this is awesome. So something's got to be like missing there if he's putting on matches and he's turning the crowd like during his match, but for whatever reason, that emotional connection is just not there. What do you say to that? What's the issue?
It's got to be something in his presentation. Like, he has the talent. That, I would say, has never really been in debate. But something as far as him as a singles guy, like I would say the The most he's been over was when he was still teaming with Jensen. But maybe when he was challenging for the North American title against Oba was probably his highest point as a single star, but for some reason they just decided not to give him that opportunity, and fans kind of fizzled. Just never got it back, and I don't know really how he gets it back. There's a good shot that, like Tyler said, he's got to leave and really redefine himself before coming back. And maybe that is it. Who knows?
But yeah, we'll see. Like I he's just kind of treading water. I mean, that's NXT. They try and they try and they try, but how much do you try before you really abruptly change gears and go with something else? But
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm saying like why I picked Noah, because there's TNA is always an option, to do an
Yeah.
exchange there. But like, I think he needs to be off of American television. We need
Yeah.
to not see him at all. But I don't know. I don't know that they're going to do that. And they like Josh Briggs clearly, because they keep trying. So clearly they like him. But all right, 6-man tag time. The DarkState. Of course, we didn't know immediately which members of the DarkState would be in the match. But they made their way to the ring, followed by Chase U and Joe Hendry. And of course, Chase U tonight in the match, it was to be Cale Dixon and fourth-generation superstar Uriah Connors. Say that every chance I get, whose hair is getting frighteningly long. But yeah, so, sorry, on the DarkState side, it was Dion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, and Sean Sugars. Cutler was on ringside, not saying awkward, weird things, just, being out there. But this was a 6-man tag. This is it was a little bit spot fest, a little cluster, there in the middle. And when it was all said and done, the number I can't really even say the numbers game caught up to the faces. They had the same number of people there because Andre Chase was out there, but I guess the numbers game heel tactics caught up to them, and the DarkState gets the win in 11 minutes and 36 seconds. So it's obviously still not over between Joe Hendry and the DarkState. That seems to be the focus here. Chase U was there to take the fall. Which is fine. That's perfectly fine. I just like that they get on television. I enjoy Chase U segments. I like Andre Chase, who had the most heinous-looking black eyes I've ever seen. Like,
What was that from again?
I don't think it was real, was it? I thought that was makeup. What could that have possibly have been from?
I feel like were they at Homecoming?
Josh Briggs? Wasn't the last time Andre was on TV with Josh Briggs when Josh Briggs was like kicking the hell out of everybody in Chase U?
Could have been.
Maybe that's what
I'm trying to rack my brain and nothing else is coming to mind.
Yeah, it was a DarkState match. During the DarkState match here, they did show Mike Santana walking into the venue, so they felt that was a more important thing to show. I mean, that was all night. TNA wrestlers were walking into the venue and walking around and popping up in the background and stuff. But yeah, it's a DarkState match. Like, this is kind of they've had a formula with DarkState too, kind of the same issue the Wyatt Six has fallen into, where it's just like you have a very obvious formula for the majority of your matches. Not that they're not exciting and fun, but you kind of know what you're getting, especially if it's a television match. You kind of know what you're getting going into it. But they won. It makes sense. They won. They should win. They need to be a credible threat. They need to keep racking up wins. They're the tag champions. At least do something with it. I know, like, you never got fully sold on Hank and Tank, but they did just, F all with their tag title run. Like, nothing. Which was just so disappointing for me, personally. But, yeah.
Sorry,
it's It's okay. It's all right. Because anything on this 6-man tag, the apparently Joe Hendry, they say they're trying to fade him out of TNA and kind of get him more on into WWE television going forward. So
I'm fine with that. I big Joe Hendry fan, and I think he'll do very well in NXT for sure.
Saying that's was going to be my question. I took my dog out during this match, so I didn't see it. So I was going to lean on the experts on this one to see how y'all felt about it. I saw a couple of spots. I saw them do the Joe Hendry, pose and whatever during the match. It just seemed like a regular 6-man tag team match with a whole bunch of spots. Like I thought that was cool. You know how I feel about Chase U, so that's dope to me. I'm always down to see Chase U, baby. Like, yo, that's my squad right there. I wish I enrolled in Chase U. I would have been a fine established gentleman if I did that instead of this, but, but from what I saw, it looked like, just a regular tag team match.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys what was the status on Joe Hendry because I knew WWE was going to poach him from TNA eventually. So I wanted to see where they were at with that and what's been going on. If you guys could kind of like in real quick.
From what I've seen, they're saying they're wanting. I mean, his contract's up in the very, very near future, and it sounds like they're just going to go ahead and transition him being primarily on the WWE television even before it's completely up. But I mean, you're right. Everyone knew it was coming. Like this, everyone called that immediately. It's just like, but they don't want to establish, a poaching record here, unless like in 20 years we're gonna, find out that TKO was writing checks to TNA.
Right.
Like at this point, nothing would surprise me. But
me neither. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think
to some degree, I'm sure money's changing hands somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be. But yeah, it was 6-man tag. It was fun. It was a TV 6-man tag. They you have some time to fill on a go home show. So no complaints. No complaints. I think the right team won. Understandably, like you can't have. I love Chase U, but you can't have Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors getting a win over the tag champs.
Definitely.
No. And Joe Hendry doesn't need that right now for what they're doing with him. So he's kind of Teflon at this point, but all right. So from there, we had a pre-tape segment on Ricky Saints, and again, these are done so well. It was Ricky talking about his life in New Orleans. He went to the area where his childhood home used to be. That's these are. He didn't say which storm. I'm assuming Katrina. I don't know. I mean, New Orleans has been nailed with a bunch of hurricanes over the years, but he's of the age that I feel like that's probably, the one he'd be referencing. But yeah,
his childhood, like he's how old?
Oh goodness,
because that would have been 2005, so 20 years ago.
Let's see. He's 35.
So he'd have been 15. Yeah, likely possible then.
Yeah, I mean, not that they haven't had other bad hurricanes, but like that's been the most
prolific one.
Yeah, but and much like the little Vice segments that we talked about a bit ago, this was very humanizing. It was showed him in a the light of his community, and I felt like some of the street interview things they were doing were a little bit forced. Where I feel like there were a couple of people who I don't think had any clue who he was. They're just like, you want to be on TV? Like the guy's like, I wouldn't want to face him. It's just like, sir, you're bigger than him. Like, okay, all right, fair enough. But I liked this, though. I really enjoy kind of like the human interest kind of segments they do. It doesn't work for every character, but Ricky is a character that it not only works for, it's vitally necessary for you to do, in some part because of his size. You have to have that really heartfelt connection to believe that he can, overcome people that, have 110 pounds on him often. But yeah, I thought it was solid, gentlemen. What did you think of this segment, and in general, how do you feel Ricky's doing in his NXT run so far?
Well, the promo was good. It was awesome reminder just of, you know, who a wrestler is without them needing to be at TV. Um, I think it helps keep him in the the minds and thoughts of the NXT audience. Like he'll be back, I would say, probably in the next 2 weeks, especially with everything that happened in the main event. He'll have a pretty prominent spot, I think, going forward.
Okay. I didn't see the segment.
Dog.
I didn't see it.
Bring that sweet time outside.
Yeah, just from the outside looking in, because I haven't really been able to tune in to see Ricky Saints too much since he's arrived on NXT. It seems like he's doing well. He's not Lexis King, so that's it's a positive to me. Like it seems like he's doing okay. I figured because of where he came from, they probably try to jettison him to the top a little bit faster than what they have. In my opinion, of the way he defected
and with
over.
who his friends are, right, you know,
right.
Like...
So I kind of figured he'd be a little bit bigger than where he is now, but maybe that's where they're getting to. And I am back to watch NXT. So hopefully I get to witness that.
Yeah. He's been doing good. Doing well, I should say. All right. So backstage, they were interviewing. Do I have the picture of Javon? I don't know. I feel bad. I'm so sorry, Javon. Javon Evans was being interviewed regarding his match this weekend with Josh Briggs. That's the other thing I'll say about Josh Briggs. They keep pairing him against people that are really beloved by the NXT crowd. And I'm wondering if that's where part of the heat's coming from him, too. It's like, everyone loves Yoshiki Inamura. Everyone loves Javon Evans. Like, anyway, but I digress. But you hear a clatter, and, you know, she's like, oh, what was that? And he's like, I don't know. And he just keeps talking. And then finally they call people over. And laid out on the ground is Jasmine Nix. And then up comes Fallon Henley and JC Jane. And she says, you know, I thought you were with her. And they say, well, do you think she could have been hit by... And they just kind of, you know, and they move on. Was or wasn't it Lainey Reid that took JC Jane out? Or, sorry, that took Jasmine Nix out here? And Fallon even said, like, it was time for her to be cut. Like, they didn't seem too upset that Jasmine Nix just got laid out. Again, I'm feeling by Lainey Reid.
I can see that. Like, the whole I'm gonna take your spot from you kind of thing. So I think that would be a good option, especially if she does end up winning the speed championship. Then that's just one more accolade to bring back to Fatal Influence.
Anytime somebody's laid out and their partner's on with them, it's usually a dead giveaway that they were part of it or they did it. So
Right.
that's where I'm at. It happens every time.
Oh man, yeah. This was oh gosh, I feel like they did this with another group. It just fell out of my head, but they've done, you know, storylines like this before. And I mean they were nodding pretty heavily at JC Jane and Lainey Reid, you know, having a moment there. So maybe it's not that. Maybe they were going so heavy handed with it. But again, sometimes it's okay to go heavy handed. Like, just go with the obvious stuff. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel kind of bad for Jasmine. She didn't like if that's it for her in Fatal Influence, that's probably kind of it for her on NXT proper television for at least a minute, because they haven't really done a whole lot with her. She was off, like, when all the cuts happened. She was off TV for a couple weeks when all those flurry of cuts happened, and I think people kind of assumed she just got released, and then she popped back up on the TV, and it's like, oh, you're still here. But yeah, I don't know. This is just like what The Calling did to Brooks Jensen. It's like he got laid out, and he's just off NXT television on Evolve. So maybe that's what's going to happen to Jasmine. Maybe she's heading down to Evolve now.
Would that be the worst thing?
No, not for her. Like, she's got like the raw athleticism, but my goodness, like she needs to get more reps in matches. Like that's the most polite way I can put it.
She's still a little green, needs some more work.
Yeah. And like she really was, not to, JC Jane was talking about people calling her a third wheel. She really was the third wheel of Fatal Influence. And maybe they want to keep Fatal Influence going and they're going to give Lainey Reid a shot. Like, she's got more personality already, really, than Jasmine was showing. I think that Lainey's a little similar to Fallon. So, like, they're almost kind of fighting for that same little I'm Southern and mean kind of niche, but I don't know. We'll see.
Do you think them kicking her out of Fatal Attraction in that way would be a benefit to her, like having her like wanting retribution against them? Do you think that does anything for her? No.
I mean, from a logic standpoint, yeah, Jasmine would want, some sort of, comeuppance there, but it's NXT, man. You even said this earlier. Sometimes they just drop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could be that thing where it's like she, is laid out. She goes off NXT television. She's on, maybe does some spots for Evolve for, a month or two. And then she pops back out of nowhere and knocks the crap out of Lainey Reid. Like, or, whomever, So I can see him doing it that way too. Like, she'll hopefully get her comeuppance, but I can see this being like, well,
didn't work out.
You just got Nikita Lyons. You're going down to Evolve, and we're going to ignore any story that you had going. So,
Well, she was in the women's locker room segment with the Graces earlier.
Yeah,
that's true. She was there. She was
there.
She was in the Packers. She was present, so she's.
Yeah. She got her 30 seconds on TV this week.
Yeah, she got it. She can, post about, post about on Instagram. I feel like she's. This sounds so disrespectful, but I like. They were ragging on Lola. Oh, Jasmine or JC was ragging on Lola, like, oh, you've got all these Instagram followers. Okay, so what? I would actually say that, like, Nikita Lyons is an Instagram wrestler. Like, she is. Like, that's going to sound kind of disrespectful, but, like, no. It's like a modern day diva. Like, yeah, she's not very good in the ring. People think she looks good. And that's about it. Like,
yeah, she does seem like, I don't want to put this on her because I don't know her. But from what I hear from the wrestling community is that she's not interested in a business. She's interested in what the business can do for her. Mm-hmm. So when she's on TV, it looks like that. Like, it's like, yo, are you even like taking it seriously? Like, you've been here for a while. Like, where's the growth? You know what I'm saying? So it does kind of seem like she pays more attention to her Instagram and her brand than she does in actually caring to get better in the business. So I can see that.
I think it was also a lot of the injuries and the repeated injuries. Yeah. If this might just be her kind of securing her bag for when she needs to retire because she physically can't do it anymore.
Yeah, her knees are in pretty rough shape.
Yeah,
like, and she ain't old by any stretch of the imagination either. So that's a fair point, CJ. Just kind of thinking, what am I going to do after? Because I think that's like, I can't believe we're going down this rabbit hole. But I think she sings too. I think she's aspiring to do music. I'm pretty sure. Like,
well, yeah. She sings her entrance theme.
Oh, she didn't get Def Rebelled, huh?
No, that is an all original piece. Might have been produced by Def Rebel, but it's her on the vocals.
Wow, I did not know that. So yeah, so she's she's got irons in the fire, as they say. But oh Lord, okay, all right. So hey, it's main event time, guys. So Trick Williams made his way to the ring, I believe, ahead of the break, to a chorus of "Whoop That Tricks" and "Aw Yeah Mans." And then Obafemi made his way down, and they showed around the Performance Center a ton of NXT talent. Or sorry, geez, it is getting late here, guys. TNA talent, including Matt Cardona, who was there, which they kind of teased him a couple times. He was in a background shot at the very beginning of the show, which I was only aware of because Chelsea Green retweeted it, and she was like, hey, now hold on. But and then he himself shared a picture of him out front of the Performance Center. But yeah, so you knew that tensions were running high as this champion versus champion match was underway. And this is one of those things where going into it, they kind of booked themselves into a corner here. You know, you really couldn't have an actual finish. You couldn't have a clear victory. You weren't going to have both belts on one person. That I feel like that would have disrupted a couple PLEs and pay-per-views going forward here. So, you know, it ended in a bit of a schmoz. So during the course of early in the match, Mike Santana jumped the guardrail. You thought things were going to get nasty between he and Trick there. He just did some commentary, you know. But eventually, Trick slapped him in the face, and then he hit Trick, call for the bell, and then it was just, like I said, very Nitro-ish. As the TNA talent clashes with the NXT talent, the locker room emptied. You know, people who seemingly didn't really have issues with one another had issues with one another. Ricky Saints goes to grab the NXT title. Femi climbs his way up and grabs it. It was a hot finish. It was a chaotic finish. It was a non-finish. How'd you guys feel about it? This was how the show went off the air tonight. You know, it's a go-home show. Chaos, pandemonium at ringside. I'm surprised we didn't have trainers and EMTs running down with it. It was a lot of fun. But, where are you guys at on this, on tonight's ending? And the match, for that matter.
Well, it's like you said, we knew going in that we weren't gonna have one person holding both titles this close to two pay-per-view events, one for both companies. Like, it just doesn't make logistical sense. It doesn't make booking sense. So I'm glad that they got, a solid showcase out of both Oba and Trick. Um, the amount of TNA wrestlers that showed up there that I could swear we would never see in the Performance Center again. We had Eric Young, we had fucking Matt Cardona, we had like Ash by Elegance had been there before, but it's
Right.
still like a weird sight to see her as Ash by Elegance in the Performance Center.
Had the Iconics
Yes,
done?
Cassie
Okay.
Lee was there too.
Yeah.
I didn't see her tag partner though. I only saw the one.
But they were sprinkled throughout. I will say during the brawl too. I just will say there was a spot. It was kind of like an overhead shot where Tatum Paxley just didn't know what the hell to do. Like she just jumped over the stairs and then just kind of like did like the SpongeBob caveman move, and then that was kind of the end of the show. But I'm like, she's just over there fighting her own demons. Is what's going on right now.
It still works for her.
Right?
Oh yeah.
She's looking for Rosemary. That's what she's doing. She's like, where's she at? That's who I want to fight.
Y'all know me, man. I love chaos. It's like I love chaos. I love that. I will say this though. When the little bit I saw of the match, Trick has gotten a lot better in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was an Obafemi thing because Obafemi is amazing in the ring too. But I think there was like a moment where Obafemi tried to choke slam Trick and Trick did a backflip. It was like, oh, like where did this where did this come from, Trick? So, hey man, I was really impressed by it, and of course the chaos and seeing Matt Cardona. Have you guys seen not the Water Boy 2, Billy Madison 2 or whatever it's called? I forgot the name of it.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Happy Gilmore 2. Have you guys seen it yet?
Yeah,
I just kind of had like that same feeling, like seeing nostalgia. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember you. I thought the ending was dope. Man. That's how I felt.
It was a lot of fun. It was very chaotic. Trick. Touch on one thing about Trick. I think like he's just really since this being TNA champion. I don't know if like he's just working a lot more matches, if he's had like a much more densely packed schedule, but like something's really clicked for him. And again, like he's pretty much main roster ready. Like there's nothing else for him to really do here. It's just about, when you have time and when you have a spot for him up there. I don't want him to get like Carmelo hazed going up there.
I was actually going to say that's actually the person they need to kind of like put him with.
Well, and
Put him back
him
with Carmelo.
squabbling with the Miz as much as he has, that might be the opportunity to bring him up to the main roster and be like, "Hey, I loved teaming with you. I think that reignited something, and we need to keep teaming together."
Yeah. But he's ready. He is so ready.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just he wasn't going to lose the belt to Oba. He's going to lose it to Mike Santana, Bound for Glory. Like, it just again they just kind of, I don't want to say they booked themselves into a corner. They just booked themselves into a really obvious spot. But it was fun. Like if you're going to have a non-finish, this is how you do it. Like, and I feel NXT has gotten a lot more strict with themselves to not have as many non-finish finishes. Like if you're going to do something, like at least they'll do it as a count out or a properly called DQ. That's been one of my long-running critiques of Raw for a while, is that almost every main event is a non-finish that they never really even address as a non-finish, and it just keeps training people that the matches on TV don't matter when the matches on TV should matter. But NXT hasn't really fallen into doing that trap as often, but it was good. It was solid. Good go-home show. It's got I think myself and everyone else excited for Saturday's show. It's actually at 8:00. It's like a normal PLE time. It's not being thrown out there to counter program an AEW show. I feel like that's the first one in a while that it hasn't been. So that's awesome. But a 5-match card. I think it's just 5.
Usually is.
Yeah. So what's Josh Briggs and Javon Evans. The Speed
Ethan Page
Championship.
and Tavion Heights.
Tavion, yep. The Speed Championship with Sol and Lainey. The weaponized steel cage match with Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace, and then Obafemi and
title.
Ricky. Yeah, Obafemi and Ricky. So, solid card. But guys, before we hop into the megastars and jobbers of the night, anything else on tonight's program that we didn't touch on that you wanted to discuss?
Not really, but how funny was it that WrestlePalooza got a C?
From ESPN, like itself? Yeah, not great. Like, it's, man, the way WWE is behaving with the ESPN deal right now, it's almost like that really, like, just kind of like lame dude in high school that finally got the date with like a kind of attractive girl, and he's just so like clamoring and fawning over. That's how this feels right now. Like they got a date with someone to a big dance, and they're just really, really thrilled about it. And it's not going to go anywhere long term. It's a lot of money. Like they're going to be on ESPN for a while, but like I don't freaking care. Like to me, it's just all the advertisements and more cross promotion. No.
Like with me, it just feels like WWE forgot how big they already were in a sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like, bro, like you don't need to like sell us this much on your product. Like, bro, you've already had millions and millions of fans. So
who are they trying to convince?
That's my point. It's
like even like entertainment views WWE as a sector of entertainment. It's not, kind of maligned like it was back in like, I don't know, the early to mid 90s. Like who the hell are they still trying to impress at this point?
That was my point, man. It just feels off, dude. Like, and I haven't seen WrestlePalooza yet. I was like kind of intrigued by it. Like I wanted to kind of like watch it like on a day off where I didn't have to like analyze it or anything like that, because just from the opening, like the intro made it seem like it was like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam just by the way they did the production on it. So I wanted to sit back, and then you had the John Cena Brock Lesnar thing first. So I was shocked to see that it got a C. I was like, damn, I didn't get that feel from it just seeing like the first intro in the first match. It was like they got a C, so I got to see the rest of it. But if he's giving it a C because they're kissing ESPN's ass too much, after watching what I saw on NXT, I damn sure can see why.
Right.
So
I do think the C grade was a bit harsh. Like I would say it's closer to a B plus than a C for me, anyways.
Right.
But there were, there were some things that I was like, it could have been better, or this really wasn't necessary at all, kind of thing. But I don't know. I thought it was okay.
I'll chat back in the group chat. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'll let y'all know what my real opinion is on the grade and if I thought it was like fair or not. Because I didn't just from the first match. I was like a C. I was like, damn. I was like, did it fall off after the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match? Like,
Yeah, in his review too, like I think he's like it felt like a main event of SmackDown. I think is what the review says. Like, you watch wrestling then at least, I guess. Like he knows what a oh god. But all right, hey, it is time for the jobber of the night. Oh, I meant to click the. There we go. The card didn't want to disappear. We're just looking at Gilbert for longer than anyone. No offense to Gilbert. Sorry, Dwayne Gill. I'm not trying to malign you, sir. But guys, it is jobber of the
Other
night
than using you as our title card for Jobber of the Night.
for basically the entirety of these shows. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna take point on this one. My jobber of the night tonight is Lexis King. And this is the most fitting picture I could find for that. This is almost not PG. But yeah, he doesn't win a feud. He wins matches from time to time, but he got his ass kicked before this match a couple weeks ago in the locker room when Myles Borne walked in and turned off the lights and then beat the brakes off him, and then he still lost tonight. Like, he can't win a feud. He's not clicking. So really, he's my jobber of the night for both in kayfabe and meta perspective, all around. I want the best for him. I really do. I think he's got the skills and the talent there, but he can't win a match, or he can win a match, but he can't win a feud. He loses every program he's a part of. He tries to be dastardly, but it comes off more like Wile E. Coyote type stuff, which maybe isn't even completely his fault. He's just doing what he's told to do. But yeah, my jobber of the night is the television star, Lexis King. I feel like Triple H, your balls out right there. But yeah, so that's my jobber, guys.
I couldn't have said it better myself. He was definitely my jobber of the night as well.
Okay,
Stop using that picture, Jesus. You're
lucky it wasn't the title screen for tonight's show. It almost was.
Oh my god. Yes, very much. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't see what I can do to get invested in this version of Lexis King. Like, he's really only there to, like I said earlier, help other people look good. Mm-hmm. So I think at the end of the day, that's not necessarily jobber material, but because like there is a certain level of respect that goes to the person in that position. But as far as, like you said, him not being able to win a feud, that's jobber of the night material for sure.
I can't blame any talent for tonight. I really can't. My jobber of the night is WWE as a whole. I'm sorry. It's WWE as a whole. Like, it's world wrestling entertainment, guys. It's not world wrestling advertisement. It's not any of that. Can we please get back to wrestling? Like, can we enjoy a show? Can we have like 2 hours of wrestling without you throwing ads and promotions in our face? It felt like you turned an opportunity. This is my issue, and this is why I'm so upset. I'm fine if it's Raw. I'm fine if it's SmackDown because it's established household name talent. You can't take an NXT. You're trying to establish future stars in the industry and turn it into a show full of advertisements and promotions. You can't do it. You are doing a disservice to your farm system. And you being an ESPN, they should be able to teach you about how to run a farm system. Please don't start turning NXT into a Sunday night heat. We don't need that. That's not why we watch NXT, dude. We watch NXT to see our future talent so we can get behind these future stars. And that's the way WWE, you make your money. You already have the advertisements. You already put the advertisements on the ring that many people hate. You have the Prime bottle outside of the fucking ring every Monday Night Raw. You have the Slim Jim. Bro, we didn't like that, but we're cool with that. But what you did on NXT tonight turned me off. And everybody that sees this, I am not an AEW fan. I'm not. I am diehard WWE. And maybe this is me snapping because I've seen it too much. And tonight was just kind of like the final straw when Malik was like, yo, what the hell is going on? That's totally possible because I've been busy. But for what I saw tonight, WWE, please let this NXT talent flourish because that's what we tune in to see. You can have your advertisements. You got to pay for that. They pay for airtime and all that. We get that. It's cool. But at least slow it down so we can enjoy at least the entertainment aspect of the product you're trying to present to us. So my jobber of the night is going to have to be WWE, unfortunately, and it hurts me to say.
And lower your ticket prices. Damn.
Yeah. Well, very, very well said, man. Hard to disagree with any of that. It's just become just so masturbatory on their behalf. Like, it really is. And it wasn't touching NXT as much, but I mean, they have the Slim Jim logos on the tables tonight. Like, that's the one that really got me, was when they put the logo on the table. Like, again, like, it's just like advertisements on the ring, boxing does that. MMA, I get that. That's a sports thing. That's, Lesnar having, logos on his trunks. Like, I understand it. Like, that's a real sport thing. I'll grant that. But there's a lot, even like they've done it with a lot of the women too in NXT, where it's like they mention Maybelline products by name in almost once or twice a week now. And it's just like, okay. That one I'm a little more forgiving of, because I'm like, that's to me, like, we know we have a female audience, so, like, let's kind of cater a little bit to that. So I'm a little more forgiving of that for some reason, and maybe it's because, like, they're not Blake Monroe didn't attack Jordan Grace with a kendo stick that looked like a Maybelline, like, tube of lipstick, right?
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going that far with it.
Right.
Okay, now hold on. Now, how would you feel about kendo sticks that looked like Slim Jims? Would that be acceptable?
That is kind of terrifying, actually.
Yeah. Like, not particularly appetizing.
Right.
Yeah.
But no. But I agree. They need to really dial it back. Unfortunately,
dial it back just a little, man. It was kind of crazy.
With TKO at the helm, I don't know. And is the before we get into the megastar, I'd start to derail us again. Is where NXT's PLEs? I know they're going to be on Peacock through March of next year. But, like, is there any bead on what's going to happen with them after that? Like, are they going to fall into the ESPN? Are they going to go somewhere else? Are they going to stay with Peacock?
I haven't heard, actually. I heard YouTube, maybe? I
can see
think
them.
I don't want to speculate, but I think I heard something about them possibly trying it out on YouTube to see, because they love the numbers that they got from like AAA Mania and stuff like that. So they know that YouTube is going to be there for them. So maybe that's a better spot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Netflix, baby.
Well, for you, everything's Netflix for you.
Netflix for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my point.
all right. It's megastar
Talk your
time.
shit, CJ. I ain't mad at it. Talk your shit. I'm not mad at it. Talk your shit, man.
No, we're just jealous. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, they price gouging us
Oh my god! All right, all right. Gentlemen, who would like to begin the mega starring? Let's see.
I'll go. Mine is quick. I'll get off of my soapbox, man. It was Jada Parker for me. I don't know what it was. It was just it wasn't like an abnormal promo for her at all, or it was just when I saw her promo, it kind of like flat. Maybe because I haven't watched in a while, kind of flashed, but like her journey flashed before my eyes, and I've always felt like Jada Parker was going to be like a next star in WWE.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, with us talking about the possible call ups of Jordan Grace, the possible call up of JC Jane, she seemed like she solidified herself as that next top NXT Women's Champion. In my opinion, that's what I saw. Out of all the women on the card that I saw tonight, even though she wasn't like there in ring, it just seemed like, oh shit, Jada Parker really is next now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she's my megastar tonight.
Yeah,
Tyler, sorry, I was gonna say you can take it next.
Oh yeah. Just real quick, I agree, Malik, before I go with mine. But yeah, she's just so talented. I've probably said this about 40 times, honestly, on the show. But she is the real deal. She is just perfect. You know, she's so good in the ring. She's great on the mic. She has a connection with the audience. It's astonishing, and it's just like, man, they brought her in to be a kind of, extra piece for OTM, and then she just blew right past OTM, and I don't even know where OTM is right now. They're back in the mud, I think. Like, that's what happened. Like, they're not out of the mud anymore. Like, they're just there. They're just hanging out. Like, I don't know. CJ, do you know, are they in Evolve right now? Do you know by chance?
I have never watched an episode of Evolve.
Okay. Well, darn. I don't know where they're at. But on to my megastar this evening. I popped back and forth on a couple different people here for a couple of different reasons. But I almost went Jada, but since Jada's already been touched on, I'm going to give mine to Lola Vice tonight for a lot of similar reasons. In that, like, just the connection that she has solidified and forged with the audience, just how ready she seems for so many different things right now, that I don't really know what direction I would even want to push her. If I had the book, I don't even know what I would do. If I just pull her up, if I put the belt on her, if, like Malik's saying, I feel that Jada Parker really would benefit more from that championship right now, even than Lola would, just because Lola seems to be positioned a little higher with the general audience. I don't know, but Lola's just outstanding, and she has come such a long way in, I think, a very short time. We've not been doing these shows for that long. We're coming up on 2 years pretty soon. But she's come such a long way, not just in the ring, but like as a character as well. And she's just, they've put her through a few different facets over, the last couple of years. And they've tried a couple different little things with her. But they strike a good balance with her between, charismatic and likable, and also physically attractive, but physically dominating and believably badass. Like, with that back fist, I believe it. I believe that finish for her. Like, she's just so good. And again, I don't know what's going to happen Saturday for her, but I can say that tonight she's my megastar. So.
My megastar tonight is the TNA roster for their contributions to the main event. We knew, like we said at the when we were talking about this match, like, we knew that it was not going to be a clean finish. We knew it was not going to actually wind up being winner take all. And just the sheer the volume of talent that they had throughout the arena. The names in particular that a lot of them we've already talked about, but it's incredible to see this partnership continue to grow. And I mean, that is the moment that people are going to be talking about. If this TNA invasion angle really takes off, it's going to be that moment where they tried to combine the titles and TNA said no. So my megastar of the night tonight is TNA.
All right, guys. Before we get into the kind of closing bits here, anything else before we get rolling into the kind of the plugs and closing starts here?
No.
All right. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone watching. If you had a good time here tonight, and I hope you did, I've got good news for you. Dirt Sheet Radio isn't just here on Tuesday nights. We are here multiple times a week when we are able to do it. There's a lot of wrestling and a lot to cover, but we are here obviously every single Tuesday night. The flagship program is recorded on Wednesdays, usually is up on Thursday mornings, and that also includes the AEW Rewind. So you get 2 shows for the price of 1, which is free, just like all of our other content here. Thursday nights is the TNA Impact Rewind, which is kind of our sister show at this point. And then when Fridays can have SmackDown happen, it happens. I have a cat. I'm going to say hello now, too. But guys, and then on the weekends, CJ and I are in the process of bringing back the Weekend Wrestling Roundup. And Malika, you guys are live every Sunday, right?
Yes, sir. 3NT Wrestling. We've been busy. Danny just had an amazing show in North Carolina. Salute to my boy. Happy belated birthday, too. Super proud of you of your accomplishments. But 3NT Wrestling coming back to a Sunday near you soon.
Right on. And CJ, brother, where can the folks find you?
Well, I'm trying to be back here every Tuesday night. The odd weekend, unfortunately, I can't make No Mercy Rewind, but we'll see what future PLE schedule looks like. In the meantime, I'm kind of absent on social media as well, so it's here or nowhere.
Right on. Hey, Malik, man, I know you said you'll be on this weekend, but social media plugs, man. Where can the folks find you on the socials?
You guys can find me everywhere at Matthew Malik Wilson, everywhere. I finally branded myself correctly.
Hell yeah.
Sports fans, I am a part of Roundtable Sports. We're doing great work there. Football season is in full swing. We're at week 3. Come check me out at Roundtable Sports and also at Jets Roundtable. You see the background. Let's get it.
Hell yeah. And I am Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster. That was a little Molly Holly. You can follow me on Facebook at The Pro Wrestling Hipster after you follow Dirt Sheet Radio on all social media platforms. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in live and on demand if that's the way you like to get down. Nonetheless, we appreciate your views and the follows and the likes and the comments. Keep them coming, guys. We will be live again soon, and Dirt Sheet Radio will be back tomorrow night. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll see you then.